So in this topic, we will continue our learning session by combining price trend and power together, and we try to analyze stocks, we try to analyze equity, and with both price trend and power analysis, we have enough information regarding on the aggressiveness of buyer and seller in the market, and subsequently we are able to predict what will happen in the future. Alright. Now, for the first component, we try to analyze one thing. Okay, try to analyze the trend, and I would like you to give an answer for this trend, maybe 1 to 10 seconds after I draw, and you have to give your opinion. Either it has power, and either it has strong trend for uptrend or weak trend for uptrend. All right. Now, what you can see here, all right, when we try to analyze by combining both analysis, price trend and power, first we have to recognize which one is the price trend component, and then we are able to predict the power. Remember that when we try to analyze power of an equity, we need at least 2 loops, but for price trend we need 2 main directions, 2 major line that progressing in a major direction. So we can see here it is the trend is an uptrend, so we can label this as price trend number 1 and price trend number 2. Okay, now we can see that by comparing, or in the chart you can drag this y2 to y1, but now you can obviously see that price trend number 2 is longer than price trend number 1, and hence you can conclude that the buyer become more aggressive. Thus, after it retraces, it will going upwards. All right. Now we want to analyze in terms of power. Although price trend is can give us clue what will happen in the next line, but the first priority we must go to power. We want to recognize either there is power up or no power up, because if there is power up, although the trend becomes shorter, it has high chance to go up because power is the first priority. Okay, now we can see that these 2 loop, all right. The first loop, the seller line retrace almost more than half of price trend number 1, but we can see that for the second loop, right, for the second loop, this is the first loop and this is the second loop. Okay, second loop, and this is first loop. Okay, and we can see that for the second loop the retracement is lower than the first one. Okay, we are comparing both of this line. If the first loop the seller retraces more than 50% of the demand line, which is the price trend one, we can see that at the second loop the retracement is not more than 50% of demand line number 2. Thus, this component, we can conclude that it has power, and it is in strong trend for uptrend. Alright, so in this condition, it satisfies both of our analysis, and after this retracement, after the second retracement, we can conclude that it have high chance that it will go up. Alright, more than at least previous high. This is the first scenario. Now, for the second scenario, you have again two loops, and you can see that the retracement of the first loop is maybe around 30%, and the retracement of the second loop maybe around 15%. Let's say 15%, right? So when it retraces, it goes 30% of loop price trend number 1, and for the second loop, the seller, when it retraces, it cover almost 15% of the buyer demand line number 2. So in this case, when you try to analyze, you can see that Y2 is less than Y1. So what we conclude about this, is that the line is weak trend for uptrend. But in terms of power, because the second loop retraces less than the first loop, so what we conclude is that this line have power. Okay, this line have power. So what we can say about this is that because of when we analyze an equity, as per I said previously in each topic, we are looking into the power as the first priority. So after it retraces, it has high chance to move higher than previous high. Okay, it has high chance to move higher than previous high. It is because it has power to go up. Alright, it has power to go up. So in terms of Y1 longer than Y2, thus if the price goes up because of power, we are looking to sell after it break higher than previous high. Okay, this topic will include in Fibonacci topic, where we can see where our target to take profit from. Now we see second scenario. The second scenario, and for this second scenario, I want you to give me your opinion about where the market goes. Okay, where the market goes. So we can see this is loop number 1, this is loop number 2. All right, this is price trend number 2 and this is price trend number 1. So can you tell me a little bit about what happened to the price trend first? All right, so we can see that the price trend is higher than price trend number 1. So we can conclude that it is strong trend for uptrend. All right, it is strong trend for uptrend. But in terms of power, so what we can see about power here, so what we can see about power here is that the first loop retraced less than the second loop. So, or the second loop retraced more than the first loop, because we can see that the seller line for the second loop almost going back to its beginning point of the first price trend. Right? So we can conclude that for this situation, the power is down. It has no power in going up in the future. So in this case, basically we don't want to get into this kind of trade, because we rather going into a trade that is have strong trend and have power, and that is a good combination of our analysis, that it has higher chance to go up in the future and you guys be profitable from the trade. Now let we see in the fourth situation. For the fourth situation, all right, again you can say to me either it has power, and you can give your opinion about what happened to the trend. All right, now you can see that the price trend number 1 is longer than price trend number 2. So what can you conclude about this is that it is weak trend for uptrend. Right? This is weak trend for uptrend. And how about the power? You can see that the first loop, the seller retraced less, and this shows that it has power going up. It goes up, then after quite some time, the seller coming in, and it goes beyond support line of this retracement. So we can say that the seller become more aggressive, and what we can see from this is that it has no power up. Okay, has no power up, but rather it has power down, because the line getting longer downward. Right, as far as we can see that it has no power because of the second loop retraces more than the beginning point of demand line number 2. So in this case, we can say that after it may rebound. After it rebound, it cannot go higher than previous high, and for quite some time it will go down again. Right? Goes down again. So this is something that we don't want to get into, unless you want to short your stocks, or if you want to do shorting, then this is the perfect place that you want to entry. When you see that there is no power and weak trend for the uptrend, you can wait for the rebound, and when the market reverse downward, you can get into the trade for shorting. This simple method to identify the aggressiveness of buyer and seller in the market, it is quite accurate and quite effective, and it's helping you in seeing where the next trend of the market. It involves a little bit of prediction in what you can do and how did you react when market tell you so. Right? Thank you for this. And next, we will, for the next topic, right?